Hey, what's going on, family? You guys already know what day it is. It is the day after Sunday. Welcome to another Eat Up Mondays. And let me start this episode off by saying Happy New Year to everyone that's out there listening to the sound of my voice. We are now in 2024. 2023 is gone. So, for many of you, this new year is a new chapter, a new beginning. I know a lot of people like to have their resolutions, their New Year's resolutions for the start of the year. And I just want to touch on that a little bit. If you follow the channel, if you know anything about the channel, we talk about goal setting and resolutions all throughout the year. And I don't really like New Year's resolutions so much. I like to call it a right now resolution because that way, God forbid, if you get somewhere in the year and you're not quite where you want to be, you don't have to wait until the end of the year going into the next year to start. It's always a right now resolution. And one thing that we love to talk about when the new year starts is the most important resolution that we should have is obviously drawing closer to God, getting better with our relationship with God. So I just want to touch on a couple of things like that when it comes to us coming into this new year, because I know some of you you ran into the new year head first. You like, listen, this year, the things that I didn't do last year, I'm going to do. So let's talk a little bit about that. And I'm going to get out of your way so you can just, continue to run and go hard in the beginning of this new year and hopefully throughout the new year. But one of the things that we've talked about all through the new year is we've talked about the different things that we have to do and the different things that we will face, when we have these goals or these plans, in front of us. And that's the first thing, like you have to plan, right? It's not that people plan to fail, but oftentimes they fail to plan. So, you got to have some type of plan, something written down, something before you, something that you could follow. So that way it can kind of keep you on track. And then when you have that plan, the major thing that many of us deal with, and I think all of us probably have a testimony about one way or another, is being consistent, right? Like we got to be consistent. If I can be transparent, I bust into last New Year's, into the last year. I bust in head first, going super hard. Many of you know that I had some weight goals, and I actually knocked off about 35, 40 pounds probably by the middle of the year. But what happened was my consistency in what I was doing, it slowed down and it caused me to add a few pounds back on. So, we all can identify with that being consistent. A lot of times things have to be, it has to become a lifestyle, whatever it is that we're trying to do, right? And that's why you see that LOCK behind me. We got to lock in. Like it just can't be for half of the year. It can't just be for a third of the year. It can't be almost to the end of the year. Like we got to see this thing through. And not only on a yearly type thing or just for the year, but as a lifestyle, right? For the rest of our lives, whatever it is that we feel God has called us to do or that we need to do to be healthy, to be productive, like we got to be consistent in that. And one of the last things that I want to touch on that really, really, stops us from going ahead in the things that we have before us and the things that we're telling others that we're going to do is opposition. Like opposition, when people run into it, when they face it, it could be discouraging, it could be damaging, it can cause them to quit for months, for years, you know, like opposition. This is the thing you have to understand about it. It is going to come. Anything good that you're doing in your life for yourself, for others, for God, opposition is going to, listen to what I'm saying. It is going to come. There's no way around opposition. It's just the way God made things, but you have to see through that opposition. You have to press through that opposition. And I remember last year, around this same time, I had a podcast episode where we talked about going into the New Year's, dealing with resolutions and stuff. And the podcast title was "There's Always Opposition and Growth." And I will put that link in the description for you guys to check out. It's about 20 minutes long, but I think it'll be an encouragement to you because it talks about, all of the different things that we face when it is that we're trying to go forward and some of the things that we have to do in order to press through that. So listen, like I promised, I'm going to jump out of your way. Just wanted to hop on. to share our beautiful spiritual meal together, but to also wish you a happy new year. And just, I pray with you that everything that you have written down, everything that you have in your mind, everything that you said that you're going to do, that you told somebody that you're going to do, that you get it done. And I'm praying the same for me as well. So know that I love you guys. And until the next time we share a beautiful spiritual meal together, shalom.